Hi viewers, this is Dr. Iftikhar Aslam from Pakistan. Today I'm going to present my lecture on another veterinary disease that is called as Rinderpest, and this disease is also known as cattle plague. It is caused by Rinderpest virus. In this lecture, we will cover the information regarding the organism that causes Rinderpest and its epidemiology. We will also talk about the economic impact the disease had in the past and could have in the future. Additionally, we will talk about how it is transmitted, the species it affects, clinical and necropsy signs observed, and the diagnosis and treatment of this disease. Finally, we will address the prevention and control measures for the disease as well as the actions to take if the rinderpest is suspected. Rinderpest virus is a single-stranded RNA virus in the family Paramyxoviridae, genus Morbillivirus. It is very similar to the Pesticides pitytus ruminans virus, canine distemper virus, human measles virus, and marine mammal morbilliviruses. There is only one serotype of Rinderpest virus, but field strains vary widely in virulence, ease of transmission, and host affinity. Outbreaks of Rinderpest virus can have devastating economic effects. Rinderpest is highly contagious and can destroy entire populations of cattle and buffalo. Outbreaks can lead to famine in areas where the cattle are dependent on the meat, milk, and draft power. An epidemic in sub-Saharan Africa in 1980s wiped out most of the cattle. A 1982 and 1984 outbreak in Africa caused an estimated $500 million loss as a result of the livestock losses and control measures. It is estimated that $100 million is spent annually worldwide for vaccination. Rinderpest is a serious disease mainly of cattle and domestic buffalo, including water buffalo. Most wild and domestic cloven-footed animals can become infected, including zebu, sheep and goats, pigs, and wild ungulates, including African buffalo, eland, antelopes, giraffes, and hippopotamuses. In Africa, 13 of the game animals are naturally infected with the rinderpest virus and 6 more species can be infected experimentally. In most cases, the prognosis of the rinderpest is poor. This is especially true where it does not occur and the populations of the animals are immunologically naive. Under these conditions, mortality can reach 100%. Animals that recover are immune for life. In endemic areas, newborn animals are protected from 6 to 11 months of age by maternal antibodies. Some the most susceptible are immature or young adult animals. Rinderpest virus is mainly transmitted by the direct or close contact with the infected animals. Virus is shed in the nasal and ocular secretions and in feces, urine, saliva, and blood. To a lesser degree, contaminated food or water can transmit the rinderpest virus as well as the fomites. The incubation period as well as the clinical disease varies with the strain of the virus, dosage, and the route of exposure. Following the natural exposure, the incubation period ranges from 3 to 15 days, but it is usually 4 to 5 days. Clinically, rinderpest virus can occur in 4 different forms: the classical form, the peracute form, the subacute form, and the atypical form. The classical form of the rinderpest virus is the most common and consists of fever, constipation, followed by a watery hemorrhage, diarrhea, serous to mucopurulent nasal or ocular discharge, necrotic oral erosions, enlarged lymph nodes, and dehydration and death in 6 to 12 days. The peracute cases usually occur in young animals that show a high fever, congested mucous membranes, resulting in death in 2 to 3 days. The subacute form of the Rinderpest virus shows mild clinical signs combined with low mortality rates. The atypical form is characterized by an irregular pyrexia and mild or no diarrhea. Immunosuppression due to virus's lymphotrophic tendency can lead to secondary infection as well as the emergence of the latent infections. Brown necrotic or eroded areas are found in the esophagus. Rare erosions and hemorrhages are found in the omasum. The omasums show signs of congestion and edema. The small intestine, cecum, and colon generally have the signs of obvious necrosis and edema and erosions. The clonic regions may be congested. This is referred to as tiger striping. Tiger striping can occur in other diarrheas and probably results from tenesmus. Before collecting or sending any samples from the animals with suspected foreign animal disease, the proper authorities should be contacted. The samples should only be sent under the secure conditions and to authorized laboratories to prevent the spread of this disease. Clinical diagnosis can be made if a disease with the appropriate clinical signs is recognized in all age groups of a herd. An entire herd may become infected in less than a month, which is in contrast to most BVD outbreaks in the United States of America, where only the individual animals are sick at one time. The laboratory diagnosis of rinderpest virus in non-endemic regions requires isolation and confirmation of the virus. There is no known treatment for the rinderpest virus infection. This, combined with the high morbidity rates, accounts for the devastating nature of this disease. A diagnosis of rinderpest virus usually means slaughter of the affected animals and the significant economic loss. In rare cases, the supportive care and antibiotic therapy can help in the treatment of especially the valuable animals. Because of the lack of the effective treatment, preventative measures are of the key importance. In endemic areas, vaccination is often performed annually at the national herd level. When spot epidemics arise, slaughter is coupled with ring vaccination. Wild animals, sheep, and goats should be monitored serologically. High risk countries can protect themselves by having all the susceptible animals vaccinated before they enter the country and vaccinating the national herd. Rinderpest-free areas must place import restrictions on the susceptible animals and uncooked meat products from infected areas. Rinderpest virus is rapidly inactivated at pH 2 and 12 for 10 minutes. Optimal for survival is a pH of 6.5 to 7. The virus is inactivated by glycerol and lipid solvents. Iodophore and chlorine and dioxide disinfectants are particularly effective against the virus. If rinderpest virus is suspected, the authorities should be contacted immediately. And if an outbreak occurs, the area should be quarantined. Well, with this, we are going to end our today's lecture. Thank you.